Forest is in Owings Mills, Maryland, which is a suburb of Baltimore City. We are a school that starts actually at 2 years old, all girls, kindergarten through 12th grade, and our boarding program begins in 8th grade. What's really cool about Garrison is that we have this mix of day and boarding. And so when you come to Garrison, your friends will be from all over the world, but they'll also be from more locally too. So campus is really alive with kids coming and going every single day. Lots of parents on campus, which keeps the stands full at athletic events and full at arts events. So it's a really warm, compassionate place. One of these pictures is the entrance to Garrison. So in the fall, and fall is the prettiest season in Maryland. So that's a very iconic photo of Garrison. And then below, you can see one of our faculty helping 2 girls. Like I said, we're all girls. We sit on this beautiful 110-acre campus, but we're only 20 minutes from a city. So we get the best of both worlds. When you're on our campus, you're surrounded by lots of green, lots of animals, but you can walk across the street to Starbucks and head downtown into neighborhoods to get different types of food or see an event, of course, when it's not COVID. And our motto is Esse quam videre, which means to be rather than to seem. Garrison is a place about finding your voice. We have 500 total students, and our head likes to say that there are 500 types of Garrison girls on campus. We're really looking for girls to find their own voice, their own passions, their own way of doing things, and we're here to support them. So to give you a sense of where we are, you can see we're on the East Coast. We're close to 3 major airports, which makes it pretty easy to get to us. We're only about an hour north of DC, 20 minutes from Baltimore, 2 hours south of Philadelphia, and 3 hours south of New York City. We're close to some pretty big major universities. Probably the most well-known to you is Johns Hopkins University, with which we have a partnership, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And our climate is seasonal. We're cool in the fall, cold in the winter, warm in the spring, and hot in the summer. But it's a pretty mild fall and winter. So we're outside a lot, which is especially awesome right now. We've actually installed, I think, close to 20 tents on campus so that our girls can still have classes outside until the weather really gets cold. We have a few signature programs that I'd like to share with you. The first of which is our WISE partnership with Johns Hopkins University. So WISE stands for Women in Science and Engineering, and this program is actually in its 16th year with Johns Hopkins. It started as a program for girls really interested in science, math, and engineering, but it has expanded to every academic discipline that our girls are interested in. And what the program looks like is our juniors and seniors, so girls in 11th and 12th grade, are placed individually with a graduate student and a professor at Johns Hopkins, and we take them physically to Johns Hopkins campus 2 to 3 days a week for half of the academic day. And so girls are really doing hands-on graduate level work in high school, many of which continue this work in college, even if they don't attend Johns Hopkins. So we have 2 students actually, one that's at Bowdoin College in Maine, another that's at the University of Maryland right now, that are still working with their Hopkins mentors. Both of those are in the medical field, but we've had kids do anthropology, sociology, psychology, and then a lot of math and science. So it's a really cool opportunity to figure out what you might want to do in higher ed before you get to college. Another cool signature program we have is something called the Equestrian Institute. So like I said, when you're on campus, you're surrounded by a lot of green and a lot of animals. 85 of those animals are horses and ponies. We have a very strong equestrian program. You can play polo here, or you can learn to ride. And the Equestrian Institute mirrors the partnership with Johns Hopkins University, and that girls are riding as part of their academic day. And then they're traveling nationally to shows. They might be shadowing an equine surgery. They might be working with sports psychologists. So if you're really interested in that sport, it's a great way to be fully invested and involved in it. And then another signature program that we offer is something called the Jenkins Fellows Program. And this is similar to a Fulbright scholarship. So It's open to students in grades 10 and 11, and students submit a program that they create themselves. And the goal of this is to pick an area of the world, a type of person you want to work with, and in what capacity. And then we fully fund your daughter to go and do that in the summer of her 10th grade or 11th grade year. And these are community service focused. We've had girls work with animals. We've had girls work with children, the elderly. We've had girls stay in the States and work on reservations in inner cities. We've had girls go to remote locations on islands to help underserved populations. So it's a really cool opportunity if you're interested in community service and global development. We have a lot of academic buildings on campus. Here are two, the library and Marshall Offutt. Marshall Offutt was just recently renovated. That's home to our math and science. The library is obviously home to the library, but I put it up there because it's also home to the admission office. So when you come to visit campus, if you come, that's where you'll find me and my team. Our average class size is somewhere between 8 and 12 girls, so it's probably a little bit bigger in your 9th grade year, and then it gets to be around 8 girls in a class by the time you get to your 12th grade year. And our student to faculty ratio is 9 to 1. So there are a lot of ways to connect with faculty. We know that research tells us that girls learn best when they're in a single-sex environment, and two things that are really important to the way that girls learn are connection and confidence. Connection with their peers, but connection with the faculty as well. So it's really important for us to keep classes small so that girls feel connected to the other people in the room, but also can grow their confidence to make sure that they're taking advantage of everything that we have to offer. And then we have a variety of AP and honors courses available. What's cool about being an all-girls school is if there's an AP class we can't offer on campus, we're part of an online program that allows girls to take AP classes online, should it be something that we can't offer but they're really interested in. And then 100% of our students go on to university. Here's some pictures of the inside of the academic building. So you'll see on the left hand of your screen is one of our science labs. That is the EEB lab. So that focuses on bio and evolutionary biology. One of the coolest classes we have on campus is something called the Small World Initiative. So we partner with a few other high schools and a number of universities where we're actually on this hunt for new bacteria that we will crowdsource the information around that to be used globally to find new ways to fight drug-resistant strains of bacteria. So our girls are actually doing research that is used globally to develop new antibiotics, which is really cool to do when you're in high school. But then you'll get a sense of, a more traditional looking classroom on your right and your left, where a lot of our classrooms, are Harkness style, so around tables, working in groups, very communication, discussion focused. In terms of residential life, I talked about this a little bit, but we're only 20 minutes away from a city, so we live in a suburb. It's very safe. Campus is gated. There's 24-hour security. I lived on campus for 6 years. It's beautiful. Like I said, very safe. But if you want to leave campus and get something different to eat or go to the movies or go shopping, you can walk across the street to lots of shops. Or we'll take you downtown where you can explore the different neighborhoods that Baltimore has to offer. We have 4 dorms on campus, each of which has its own kitchen, so the girls are allowed to make food on campus should they want to, although we also have a dining hall that serves 3 meals a day. We have something that we call mini bus runs, so we have 5 buses, mini buses on campus, that are to be used by residential life faculty to take our girls wherever they want to go. And we're really lucky in terms of our location, both in that we're close to a lot of things and we have pretty mild weather that we can do a lot of different things for a lot of the school year. So weekend activities, we always try and offer a service component. We always try and offer something on campus. Maybe it's learning how to bake apple pies in the fall from a faculty member. And then we always try and offer things off campus. So it might be going to a special grocery store. There's a really cool Korean grocery market not too far that the girls love to go to. It might be going to the movies, might be going shopping. Or maybe, as you can see below in the bottom left, is something that we started last year called our Gastro Diplomacy Dinner, where once every couple of months, we do a big dinner around a specific culture, and we're learning a lot about that culture, and then we celebrate that culture over a meal. Another piece of our program that's really strong are the visual arts. So I would say our two strongest programs are in the math and sciences, and then also in the visual arts. We have two big buildings on campus entirely dedicated to the arts, one of which is the Hathaway Fine and Performing Arts Center. There's two large art studios in there, one for 2D work, so that's your drawing and your painting, and one for 3D work, so that could be things like jewelry making, woodworking, sculpture. And then we also have a photography lab, both for digital and old school dark room photography, which is really cool. In terms of the performing arts, we have a theater that seats 401. We do 3 productions a year. So we will do a fall play, a winter musical, and then a spring 1-act show. So that's entirely student directed, managed, produced. But then you can also take art classes as part of your traditional academic schedule. So you can see things in music, theater, dance, as well as the visual arts. Athletics at Garrison. So what's really cool about being an all-girls school is everything athletically is dedicated to our girls. So we have a massive host of different spaces on campus, 2 turf fields, 2 grass fields, 9 tennis courts, 2 indoor riding rings, 3 outdoor riding rings, a softball field, 3 basketball courts, an indoor track, and badminton facilities. So there's a lot happening on campus and lots of ways for you to get involved. We are a place that values participation. We do not require it. So after school, you can do whatever you wish, but most girls on campus get involved in either theater, dance, service, or athletics. And you can see that we've had a lot of championships lately, but we will offer a team for every girl that is interested. So we have girls that have been playing sports their whole lives and they want to play at the highest level. And we have girls that have never tried something like lacrosse before and still want to try it. And so we have a team for those girls as well. So it's a really cool atmosphere to be able to get involved. In terms of student life, this is just a sample of club and activities that you can get involved in. The way that our schedule is set up is that you have 5 academic classes during the day. Each are an hour long. And then there are 2 periods during that day, X and Y block. X block can be a time to meet with your advisor. It can be a time to meet with your grade, to plan things like prom when you get older, or maybe an off-campus event. And then Y block is where you can meet for your club. So you might join things like robotics, or the Green Club, or Callisto, which is our magazine. All of that can happen before your after-school activities. That might be things like dance, riding, sports. So there's a lot of ways to get all of your interests crammed into the day and not have to pick and choose between things. And then life after Garrison Forest. So these are some recent college acceptances. What's really cool about Garrison is that starting in 10th grade, we begin our college counseling program. We finish junior year with something we call Camp College, so that your college essay is written before the summer before senior year, so you're all ready to go. And our college counselors really get to know you to make sure that it's the right fit for you. We have the same number of girls playing sports in college that we do attending art school. So one of the things that we started a few years back, and you'll see in this picture towards the bottom, is our art school signing day. So you might be familiar with signing day for athletes, where they commit to a university to play a sport, but we have that for our artists as well. So these 5 students all had their signatures inscribed into a plaque that we keep in the Art Center, and we've been doing that every year since for any of our students that attend art schools. And the picture on the top right, that's a picture of our recent graduation. We had to be socially distanced, so you can see the girls are all 6 feet apart, but traditionally the girls will wear white dresses and they're carrying the school flower. And that's Garrison in a nutshell. We have lots of virtual events coming up. So if you go to the website at this address, you'll see that there are a number of open houses, a number of information sessions, and then a number of student